everyone, and welcome to Homeopathy Around the World. Our guest for today is from a country that spans across 2 continents and has 8 countries to share borders with. Yes, it's Turkey, and I'm glad and delighted to have a fellow homeopath and a dear friend, Beril Kahyaoglu from Istanbul, Turkey, for today's episode. Beril is a representative of International Academy of Classical Homeopathy and is the coordinator of their e-learning program in Turkey. Welcome, Beril, to Homeopathy Around the World.
Hi, Neta. Thank you.
Most welcome. We are very delighted to have you in this episode, Beril. So let's start straight away. And what we would like to know is that it would be interesting to know how you got introduced to homeopathy. You have a degree in economics and manage a business too. When and how did homeopathy come into your life?
Yes, it was interesting. I used to travel often to Germany for business every year. And every time I used to stay in my girlfriend's house from high school, very close friend. So we were sharing many things. And she always got homeopathic remedies at home for every kind of her, let's say sicknesses or problems. So I was getting familiar, but I didn't have any knowledge about it, of course. And as the years passed, it was 2008. I had such a period in my life that I wanted to do something more meaningful in my life. I wanted to have a new horizon. So I said, I will learn something, but what? But on the other side, so many years I was thinking that in Turkey, in the villages for many years, old ladies and village people especially used to use plants for healing. So we had very precious plants, but of course, as the time passes, all this knowledge was forgotten. So I was thinking, should I travel through Turkey and find about this knowledge, these plants, and talk to people? And then this was always on one side of my mind. So suddenly I thought, oh, why not homeopathy? Because homeopathy is such a thing which uses these plants and minerals. But that was the only knowledge I had about homeopathy. So at that time, we didn't have much organized courses in Turkey. I wrote to a school in England. I always really remember them and appreciate their approach to me like that, because what they did is they sent me a book and they said, just read this book, because homeopathy is such a long way. It needs a lot of commitment. And see, after finishing this book, see if you are really interested in homeopathy. Then get registered to our school. So it was George Vithoulkas's book, of course, Basic Principles of Homeopathy. And I fell in love after reading the book. But there I realized that George Vithoulkas has an academy also. So I wrote to them, and then I started going to the courses. So it is how it started.
That is such an interesting journey, Beril. So I also, like the fact that, that the homeopathic school took the initiative and introduced you to homeopathy by sending you a book first, so that you can explore and find out whether it resonates with you or not. Because as a kind of a mature learner, you can give that kind of time, explore, understand whether this is the path you would like to be in. And seems you found it very interesting. So I also understand that you have been actively involved in spreading the awareness of classical homeopathy in Turkey. So what activities do you undertake for this mission of yours?
Actually, all these things happen so gradually, naturally. After completing this course in the academy, I I kept myself going to the summer seminars, and then suddenly I found myself becoming a coordinator of the academy in Turkey. So we were going very slowly. Now I'm the representative of the academy and coordinator. And then I started translating the e-learning course because at the beginning we didn't have this platform. So it was after some years that I started the education, and now I completed it. So now Turkish students can learn classical homeopathy in Turkish. And we have a publishing house here in Turkey, which is now Academy's publishing house. I mean, we cooperate. So I organize with them the translation, the printing, and editing of the books. And of course, I promote e-learning course. I make some meetings with the groups, with associations to inform pharmacists and medical doctors. And I also guide the students who are interested in our education. And I use the same system I learned from this English homeopathy school. You know, when they apply for our education, first thing I tell them, please take the 10 days free course and please read this book and see if you are really interested, and then you can return back to me. So these are the main activities I guide. Also, if there are international congresses, meetings about homeopathy in Turkey, I represent Academy. So this year we had Liga in Istanbul, and I was representing our academy there and organizing our students so we could meet also. And we also had another one in 2019. It was also an international congress, which was organized by our Ministry of Health.
That's a lot of work. We can hear that you are, guiding students, and the fact that you also go the same way that attracted you by sharing the book and encouraging them to read first and let them find out whether it's meant for them or not. But apart from that, I do know that translating work can be quite cumbersome, and translating the whole of this e-learning course must have been a huge project. So I can see you're full-time occupied, almost sounds like that there's a lot of work being done in Turkey by you, Beril. It's very commendable. Great. So you did mention about the international homeopathic conferences, and recently International Homeopathic Medical Society called Liga, Liga Medicorum Homeopathica Internationalis, LMI. That's how I remember it. Organized its 75th World Congress in Istanbul.
Yes.
So could you shed some light on it and share some highlights of this Congress? It was very recent. That's why I'm asking you this. Yes.
Yes, it was really very recent. First of all, I was so happy and proud about this organization took place in Istanbul, and it was because of the nice young lady, medical doctor, Turkish doctor. She was in the board of directors, and it was because of her that this organization was held in Istanbul. And during this week, they had also elections, and now she's elected as a president. I was proud because, this would bring new horizon to us, to Turkey, to Turkish homeopaths. This would be the way for us to open abroad, get more involved with the other international homeopaths. So have these have these well-known homeopaths in Turkey. It was really a big step for us. And during the Congress, George Vithoulkas was the honorary speaker, of course, and he got the award as honorary member. And one day he had a speech, and everybody were standing when he was talking. You know, we were so excited and we were applauding. And the next day he had a round table with 5, 6 homeopaths, international group, of course. And 2 of the homeopaths in that round table, so 2 out of 5 were Vithoulkas students who became very well-known homeopaths in their countries. So again, we were really very proud of him being his and also being his students. I really, I'm away. We couldn't go to the academy for so many years, 2, 3 years because of this COVID period. But through this Congress, I could feel that he was with us, so we were close to him. So of course, everybody were listening and making benefit of his precious ideas.
Professor Vithoulkas is always so inspiring, and I believe that the address
Inspiring is the word.
very inspiring.
Yes,
Yes.
inspiring.
So, have heard that the address by Professor Vithoulkas was extremely interesting. I think it was on the need of educational standardized programs in classical homeopathy, wasn't it?
Yes, yes. Yes, main topic was that, yes. Mhm.
And it is encouraging to know that Liga Congress was held with the support of Ministry of Health and the traditional and complementary medicine department in Turkey. So,
Yes.
what is the current status of homeopathic practice and education in Turkey?
For Turkey, for the time being, we can say we are in kind of in a gap period because we had, for example, we have private schools, private homeopathy courses, and on the other side, courses organized by the government, which were held at the universities. But at the beginning, they used to accept medical doctors, pharmacists, and veterinarians. But after 11, 12 years, they said they will change the rules and regulations. So they stopped these courses because, what is special of these courses is these are government accredited courses, of course. Other private ones are not accredited. So now the final decision is they will only accept medical doctors for these courses, and new rules and regulations are ready, almost ready. So they will start again. But meanwhile, all the other private courses, associations courses were going on. So this is the situation at present now.
Still evolving, still developing.
Still evolving, yes. But I should say that one of the reasons that I was so happy about this Liga being organized in Turkey was that through these international relations and give and take, shares of ideas that our standard of homeopathy education in Turkey would develop, and we would have higher standards. That was one of the main things I was really happy. So because we need it at the moment.
I think so. Every country needs that because there needs to be a regulation. There has to be a standardization, evaluation
Yes.
process, and
Yes.
this work has begun already in your country. Nice to hear that.
Yes. And these regulations should be stable, or they should be for long term. We'll see.
Quick changes here and there would confuse people. It would demotivate them from taking
Yes.
as their education. So yes, stable long-term policies are always welcome on this. Yes. So, do we also have some historical data on how homeopathy reached Turkey?
Yes, I mean, I was thinking about it a lot, and I was also asking many friends, you know. Actually, it started with German citizens living in Turkey. Yes, Turkish, you know, Turkey as a country has very close relations with Germany. So, some German people who married to Turkish citizens and living in Turkey, or some of the students, you know, who were studying in Germany, so they could speak German and get involved homeopathic courses in Germany. So they were very individual efforts. So these people got their education there, and they were accepting patients, and they were also giving some limited courses, you know, teaching some people for acute cases only. So it started like that, but afterwards, it started with the associations, and as I said, with the government. So, but it's still very new. I mean, these individual efforts, they started 20 years ago, but governmental courses started about 11 years ago. So this is the history in Turkey.
Oh, sounds like homeopathy is in its infancy stage in Turkey. So this means a lot of scope for its growth. So
Yeah.
how do you see the future of homeopathy in your country?
I am very, very, excited about it. And I know, I am sure it will spread much more, and it's spreading very fast. But as we always say, it should be the right knowledge and the right application of the knowledge. This is what is important for us, of course. And as we can have this higher standards of education, as we said, you know, discuss, and long-term stable policies applied by the government, and with the other courses, of course, completing, I'm sure, because as time passes, more and more people are going to this alternative therapies, and homeopathy is number one. Yes, yes.
So you have put together and given us an insight. Though it's new, a lot of work is being done, a huge scope. And when it comes to alternative and complementary medicines, you're seeing homeopathy having its place as one of the most leading choice
Sure,
of alternative.
sure, sure.
Great to know that. Yes. And you are also, uh, what I would say is that you are doing a lot of work to bring the right homeopathy in your country. You are the coordinator for the e-learning course from International
Mhm.
Academy of Classical Homeopathy. But what is your motivation in being a promoter of homeopathy in your country? What motivates you to do so much work in this area?
Eh, yes, I do. Okay, let's start like this. My main motivation is it is very humanistic way of healing, you know. So this is my mission, because this is, as I said, how I started learning homeopathy. I said I want to do more meaningful thing. I was questioning myself. How shall I help people? What is my purpose in life? What do I want to do? So after all these questions, and after getting close to homeopathy, and after learning, the more I learn, the more I get involved, the more I get attracted. And then I said, okay, this will be my mission. Of course, I cannot do everything. I cannot do I cannot be coordinator, educator, or taking patients, all of them at the same time. But time showed me that this would be my way, because somehow I was using my skills which I had learned during my business life. I was using these skills for spreading homeopathy, organizing our academies, activities, and education in Turkey. So this is my mission. I mean, it is very humanistic, and we see what a miracle it can be in a person, in a human's life.
So
Yes,
I've been talking to many homeopaths around the world, and this one common thing really comes through. That is meaningful life. It gives
yes,
homeopath a meaningful life where they get that kind of satisfaction as if it is helping them meet the higher purpose in life, where we are
mhm,
not just benefiting ourselves, but there are larger society involved there. And
yes,
you can do it in many ways, this same thing. But seems like, people who come to homeopathy, they come and then they realize that it is such a gift, not only just for the patients but for themselves also. Yes,
yes.
I see this being coming across as a common message again and again.
Yes, this is the point which I skipped really. I mean, it is through helping people, it's through spreading homeopathy. We also help ourselves, which, this is done. We are not aware of it, but this is also done along on that path. And I also realized that how individually, how personally I'm changing my way of looking at people, understanding people, and looking at life and all the things, health, they are all interlinked, of course. So it changed me a lot also. So but at this point, I should say that it is with George Vithoulkas, like it is like that because I'm his student. Because what is different with our teacher is as long as we learn homeopathy through him, with him, we also get a kind of philosophy of life. So we grow with him personally also. So it is such a teaching, such a rich teaching that it is really complete. It completes us.
I'm also, very touched by what you shared. So it completes us. Yeah, it is
Yes.
a philosophy of life. These might be just simple words, but very profound meaning in everyone's life. So you
Yes.
have found it, and so do others as I've been talking to them. It's amazing to know that the same message keeps coming from various homeopaths all around the world. Another point that you also brought out was I kind of resonate with it personally also very well. So
Mhm.
as persons, we found that, homeopathy, the right way of learning homeopathy and the way it has helped us as persons to grow. And when
Mhm.
we want to do, we are motivated to do something for homeopathy. We need not be doing everything. We all have our own skills, we all have our own strengths, and
Yes.
we may not be doing each and everything. Like we might be treating, we might be educating, we might be in policy making, in research, wherever the skills lie, we can use it, because
Exactly.
homeopathy as a science needs it, because we all should do our parts and our roles so that it finds its place and standing in the world what it deserves. So it was a very beautiful point that you brought up about skills, using our own skills.
So this is the way we become a team.
Yes, this is the way we become a team, and this is how we feel like one family, homeopathic
Yes.
family. Yes. Uh, you have also been very instrumental in another aspect, which I find like, where do you get so much patience to do is translation of homeopathic books written by Professor Vithoulkas. And it's not just the books, of course, the e-learning course itself, in you're translating it into Turkish language. So this is
Mhm.
a huge project in itself. So once you have done this, then what happens? How do you enroll people for this course? How do you, reach these translated works to the population in Turkey? How does it reach them?
At this point, yes, we have some Google ads. For example, when they search in Turkish, when they write homeopathy. So from time to time, of course, not always, as periods. So they get news from us. So they can just click and get to our link for free trial. This is one way. The other is mouth to mouth, of course. The other way is our students, of course, because our students, they are also involved in different groups, different associations, and another way is they call me sometimes for Zoom meetings. Now Zoom before I go very simply. I just explain them how to uh, read and get informed from our website. You know, this because this is I have seen that this is always missing. People do not go into details on our website. Although we have every detail, every kind of information, they don't read. So during these meetings, of course, I get the questions, I answer them, but at the beginning, I open the website and I tell them one by one about every information. Of course, opening them, going into more details. So this is the way we promote our courses.
So,
But I have seen that during this Liga conference, of course, after the speeches of George, many people were writing to us, please, yes, it was very effective, yes.
and what I also I've learned this something new from you today. I've learned that we should not assume that whatever is there in the website people have read it. Sometimes the material is right in front, but it is somehow in the busyness of the day we just miss it, and we need not invent and put our energies into inventing something new. The information is there, the knowledge is there. We just need to guide people to the right information,
Yes,
because it's so beautifully, the website is very comprehensive. It gives all
yes,
lot of details. So, and then just enrolling for a trial, that will be good enough, because
yes.
that gives an insight into what the real course is. So that's something I've learned from you, that you don't have to have really big ideas, or you have to invent a new campaign. At times it's just the simple things that can have an effect. That's
And
interesting.
one more thing, students applying for our education, Vithoulkas Academy education, are mostly or applying or getting interested, because for some people it takes time, of course, they have to arrange their homework and everything. So they just from today to tomorrow, they do not right away get start the courses. Anyhow, these are students who have learned homeopathy before, who have diplomas. But these special students, they realize that there is something missing underneath. There is a gap which has to be filled. So they look for a system, they look for answers to their questions in their minds. So then they find this real satisfaction, let's say, in our courses. So I really like that, because these students know what they want.
Hmm.
When they have an experience, they follow our courses with a bigger appetite and, more eager, more excited, and really learning and applying. So it was attracting my attention.
A very interesting observation. And what I learned from this is that, there are two things. The course can be applicable to a newcomer, but you also find that people who have studied homeopathy in some way, they have some education in homeopathy, they come and enroll for this course. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
the reason being that they are missing something in the education.
Mm-hmm.
That hunger to know more,
Yes,
more answers brings them to this source. So
yes.
things I can relate to that, there is the new students who want to learn homeopathy. They are the lucky ones. They start the right way.
Right way. Yes.
And then there are students who have studied homeopathy. They have unanswered understanding about, certain, probably the depth of the subject. And here
Yes.
they come to fulfill it and complete this education. So interesting to know that, Beril. It was, and this also actually has reaffirmed again one more point which has come up in several discussions, that we
Mm-hmm.
have enrollments of people who have studied homeopathy before, and they are able to appreciate the right knowledge even more, and they can satisfy that hunger for more knowledge in this subject. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And any interesting part of your journey into the world of homeopathy that you would like to share with us?
um, what is yes, it's for example when you were telling about my activities in Turkey, you said that I have translated the e-learning and the books. Actually, maybe I was the only one at the beginning who started with these activities, of course, together with the academy. But by time I see, for example, now I do not translate any books. Our students translate it. Yes, because it was my motto at the beginning. I said, of course, can be the leading person, but after we have this education and the system, and then I need to, or we need to have our students. I must make a group of people, a team, and everybody should do something different, as we said, because we have different skills, and as we said that I cannot do everything. So now I have translated at the beginning one book, and the other books are all translated by our students. I just go over with the publishing company, the manager of the company. We go over the book, we discuss, we edit this and that. Sometimes I do it alone also, and then I send to her. So now we have a very nice, how can I tell you, a team. For example, by time, we have two students are translating books, and until this time, 5 books were translated, and now Materia Medica is being translated very newly. And now one of our students, a nice lady, she became the translator for the webinar. Another student became the assistant of her. And another student, these are all graduates, of course, became the responsible person for Vithoulkas Instagram. So, so we are doing all these things all together now. It's not only me. So I always say that when this energy starts, when this energy ball starts rolling, you see by time the snowball effect. It gets bigger and bigger, and everybody's willing to do voluntarily. They always tell me, what can I do? What can I do for you or for the academy? So this is the best experience I can tell you.
So, I what I hear is that, Beryl, you did start initially on your own, but I think the quality of one of the good qualities of a good leader is that, they encourage the team to be very functional and be independent. And you have looks like, not only trained, delegated, and now the team is expanding, and
Yes, yes.
the areas that you have told us just now, it sounds like a big running organization here. So very inspired listening to you, and but not to ignore the last statement that you made about snowballing effect. Yes, how
Yeah.
the energy can be so, you can inspire others, and then there can be a snowballing effect, and you inspire people around you. The enthusiasm with which they come forward and they volunteer is something which is commendable.
Yes, but this effect, I mean, the source of this effect is Vithoulkas, George Vithoulkas, of course. We all get that energy from him, from his teachings, and then we are captured to it, and we cannot stop anymore. We continue.
I can only say one word to it, to what you've said just now. Ditto. Ditto for me too. Yes, that's very true. It starts from right there. And we, as you said, it's a very, helps us as persons. And we go beyond just looking into small matters, and we would like the whole homeopathic community to come together and do more work in homeopathy, to volunteer, to work, and to bring this beautiful science of healing to more and more people. So, Beril, it was such an interesting conversation with you. Thank you for taking out your time and introducing us to the world of homeopathy in Turkey. More power to you. And with this,
Thank you.
come to the segment of our episode where we will together toast for the progress of homeopathy in Turkey and all around the world. So, do
And
you
all together.
have a glass of juice with us? So, you both of us have our glasses of juice, and with this, we will use the three most powerful words in homeopathy, the defining words of homeopathy, which are similias, similibus curenter. We will be saying it together and toast for the progress of homeopathy all around the world. So here we go, Beryl. Let's say it together.
Yes, you and creator.
Thank you, Beryl, for your precious time
I thank you.
and insight into status of homeopathy in Turkey. We wish you all the success in spreading the benefits of homeopathic education and homeopathic treatment to all the lovely people in Turkey.
Thank you, dear friends.
Lovely talking to you, Beryl. And thank you, viewers, for watching this episode of Homeopathy Around the World. And we will be signing off for today, but we will seeing you again in the next episode of Homeopathy Around the World.